Hello there and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Mr. Ashela and I'm joined here by my grade 5 learner. This week's theme is health education. But before we begin, I would like us to abide to the COVID-19's rules. We'll begin by sanitizing our hands. You must make sure that you rub the sanitizer thoroughly to your hand, around the thumb, and do the distance check. Make sure you're not touching the next person next to you. And today's lesson, we are still discussing community health. All right, grade 5. Let's turn to page 29. We will begin by going through our vocabulary check. I will start with patient. What is a patient? It says here, a person receiving or registered to receive medical treatment. Healthcare. What is healthcare? The organized provision of medical care to individuals or a community. What is immune? Resistant to a particular infection. Medical. Relating to the science or practice of medicine. Right, for this lesson, we are going to talk about PHC. I know you're sitting there wondering, what is PHC? Well, PHC stands for primary health care. So the P is for primary, the H is for health, the C is for care. Right. We are going to look at the roles of PHC, or the things that PHC provide us with. Says here, the main role of primary health care is to provide continuous and comprehensive care to the patients. The second point is, it also helps in making the patient available with the various social welfare and public health services initiated by concerned governing bodies and other organizations. What does this mean? It means that PHC is supposed to be provided by the government. Of course, we cannot build our own hospitals. We cannot have our own doctors at our house. You are lucky if your mom is a doctor, for instance. But this is the role of PHC, which means the government should provide us with the doctors, the nurses, the places like the hospitals, the clinics. That's what PHC stands for, or the role of PHC. Right. Who provides PHC? Like I said earlier, PHC is provided by the government, but the government doesn't come to us. It sends people like the nurses that come to school for immunization, or the doctors when you have a toothache, you go for the dentist. Those are part of the PHC. Right, let's turn to page 30. Here it says, make and carry out a plan to promote activities that will improve the health situation at home and at school and support the PHC system at the same time. Well, here, we are looking at the things that we can do as individuals to help promote health and prevent illnesses at home. Right. What are these things? For instance, the first thing that we can do is get ourselves immunized, right? We get immunized against diseases. We should always make sure that our places are clean. That's why it says that we should throw away rubbish in dustbins or skip containers, not just out there because we are throwing it out. We should also make sure to to bury garden refuse, to practice eating healthy, exercise on a regular, bath every day, and keep your house and yard clean and tidy. Right. I spoke about immunize against diseases. So some kids out there sitting at home and wondering, what is immunize? Right. Here it says, explain the concept of immunization in simple terms. So I'm going to go through with you at home. I hope you are watching and really following. Right. Immunization is the process whereby a person is made immune or resistant to an infectious disease, typically by the administration of a vaccine. What does this mean? It means that you get an injection from a doctor or a nurse with a vaccine that will protect you from a certain disease. Like for instance, right now we are sitting at homes in panic of the COVID-19 because we do not have a vaccine for it yet, right? So these are the things that are being spoken of. You see, if we don't get immunized, then we will be infecting others, we'll be spreading the disease, and a lot of people are dying, as you're seeing on the news, right? A vaccine will stimulate your body's own immune system to protect you from a certain disease, right? So what the vaccine does, they give you a certain, it's more like a medicine, yes, let's put it that way. It goes in your bloodstream, and then it helps your body fight against germs, bacteria, and viruses, right? Next point, yes. Explain why children should be immunized against common diseases when they are young, right? Here, when you are young, your body is growing, not just physically, also mentally, and your immune system is also growing. So it means the best time for you to get immunized is when you are a child, so that your immunity grows with you. That's why it's important to be immunized when you are young. Right, here the points are saying, immunization is a simple and effective way of protecting children from serious diseases. Diseases like polio, that's one of them to mention. It not only helps you protect individuals, it also helps the broader community by minimizing the spread of the disease, right? Vaccines work by triggering the immune system to fight against certain diseases, right? What does this mean? It means that if, for instance, let's say we get a vaccine for COVID right now, it means we will have to immunize from the earliest kids, from the youngest kids to the adults. They all need to get immunized to protect us, because then our bodies will all be made resistant to this disease. Right. Before we say goodbye, I'd like us to turn to something fun. Let's go to our fun quiz time. We have 3 questions there that you can do on your own or with the help of your parents if they are around you, or your cousin, or simply whoever you have there. Right. Question 1. What is meant by PHC? Question 2. What is the role of PHC? Number 3. Explain immunization. Right. Now, with that in mind, let us still sanitize our hands, keeping our COVID regulations intact. Make sure that you rub all over your hand and do the distance drill all the time. Don't forget to wear your mask. And from us here in the studio, until next time,
hi everyone, I'm Joshi. And make sure to always make a helicopter circle, stretching your arms out and spinning around like me. And make sure you're not touching anyone while doing this. Goodbye!